Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shot of no shit, don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a mirror, she don't understand, shit. She be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, she's gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta get lit. No, we ain't get lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Yeah, told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a phone way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like a pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for them, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, yeah, we get this shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm LJ, the founder of SMD. Welcome, everybody. And long story short, I'm here to share my gift. And my gift is that I know that capitalism is psychological. All right. And making it real quick, how did I discover this? The bank actually told me. The bank actually told me that there was something that I wasn't seeing. And what I mean by that is that one day I went to go get yet another loan with good credit, good job history, never missing a payment on anything, never late on nothing, no collections, excellent, all 3 credit scores, 700, 800s across the board. But this time they told me no. Okay. And they gave me the reason of debt to income ratio. And so I go look up, kind of briefly run over the definition of it, right? Which, long story short, means you owe way more than you make per year. I'm gonna just sum it up, okay? They're saying this how far you are in debt over the amount of money you make per year. See, look, all right. But then when I went back to, I was like, wait a minute, but and this is why I was thinking, because I was an engineer. But this time, even though I followed all your rules all these years that you told me to do, this time it's different for some reason. That doesn't make sense. I'm looking at them saying, I'm looking at the no letter or the no email, but everything, all the check boxes are checked, but this time, no. All right, that's when I knew something was wrong. And so I went back and started looking up the definition again for a little deeper definition of a debt to income ratio. But now that I understand psychological capitalism, right? The bank writes those definitions because it's their policy or whatever the thing is, right? So of course the only definition that's going to be there is theirs. Okay. So I start typing in debt, came across Mr. Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically says, take your calculator and my baby steps and get out of debt. That's what I heard. Okay. I didn't need any of his videos and programs. All I heard was take a calculator and my baby steps and you get yourself out of debt. That's what I heard. Okay. I said, that's easy enough. Let me do it. I mean, it's easy enough to understand. That the doing part is the more difficult part. What's up, Ben? Ulysses? Now the doing part is the hard part. I had to ignore everybody, downgrade my whole entire lifestyle against everybody's opinions of it. You got to ignore them all because I know now that those are debt slaves talking to you, but you don't really understand it at the time. You just have to ignore them. That's what I had to do. Got out of debt, got to zero, and I was like, whoa, something's different here. Because I had never been there before, right? Never, ever been to zero, never even thought about it. But once I got there, I was like, whoa, the world is different. Sure is. Welcome to mathematical reality, Linnell. This is it. Welcome. First, to understand this, you must get to zero. You must own. That's the first part about being business. You have to own yourself first. Your social security number, that's your personal EIN number of the business of yourself. I didn't know that till I got to zero, and I really didn't understand it even then. But then, as I'm continuing to listen to Dave Ramsey, he says something like, once you get the baby step X, Y, Z, or whatever, you get down to your mortgage, start putting away money into retirement. But that goes against the laws of mathematics. You can't put away money into retirement while having a mortgage. That's when I left the Dave Ramsey train. Anything that doesn't make mathematical sense, that's when I leave. So I knew there was something more after that. I was like, wait, why is he doing that? Oh, he's doing that for business. Nothing's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with him saying you should put away 15% in retirement, even though it's not mathematically true. There's nothing wrong with that. That's called business. I'm just here to tell you that you can't put 15% into retirement while having a mortgage. And math says it's true. So that means it is true. So I kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. And voila, I figured out that capitalism is psychological. And the only currency is you, debt slaves. You're the currency. If you don't know how much debt you're in right now, down to the dollar, you're the currency. It's you. That's how it works in psychological capitalism. When you're the currency, you are everything. It's you. You're the house, you're the mortgage, you're the car loan, you're the credit cards. You guys are everything. Money has never, ever existed for you, ever. So them digitizing money and changing it to do this and that, it doesn't matter because it's always you. Now, to the title of this video, now with this 1099, the majority of after 2020, everything has shifted in the economy, everything. If you're a person over here talking about, oh man, I wish things would go back to the way they used to be, stop saying that to yourself because it's not. It's never going back that way. And start realizing understanding that you understand that there has been a change. You are in the beginning of a new change. You just it's all about how you look at it. You can say, damn, I'm in the beginning of the new thing. And master the shit right now. Start mastering it. This is the way it is. Figure it out. And you are fortunate enough to be here during the shift. With this shift comes tons of 1099 workers, people that have been W-2 all of their lives, are suddenly 1099, where you're responsible for your own taxes. When you've been W-2 all your lives, the IRS just tells your employer to be responsible for taking the taxes out of your check. Don't leave it to you. The employer has to do it. Okay? But now that you guys have changed to 1099, now the responsibility is on you. And there's lots of you that have. Now, when you were W-2, you already hated taxes. You would get your check and be like, oh my God, look how much taxes are being taken out. This is highway robbery and this and whatever, right? You guys are talking like that to yourselves as you look at your check. Now that you're 1099 workers, imagine you are now in full control of paying your taxes. Many of you guys are not, because you're carrying over that same attitude too. Over here now, not only hating taxes, never in your life have been responsible for taking the taxes out of your check, but now you are. Hundreds of thousands of you guys have adjusted, people, men and women, have adjusted your lifestyle to not paying taxes. Trapping yourselves. Just simply not paying your taxes. Hey, whatever. I'm small. You start thinking of these things in your brain. Oh, I'm small. I'm not really that important. There's millions of people. There's people out there stealing millions of dollars in taxes. They should be going after that. I'm just the small guy. Whatever. Those are all made up fantasies. I want you to understand something. Those are all made up fantasies in your head. Because if you guys all start doing that, which you guys all are, that's why they hired so many IRS workers. That's just my opinion. It just makes sense. You guys are the majority. That would hurt the economy, hurt it. That would hurt it if they just allowed you guys just to not pay your taxes, continue to make money and not, because you better believe Uber, Lyft, Instacart, all the delivery businesses, you better believe they are reporting everything. That's why they're so big. You cannot be that big and not pay your taxes properly, okay? Like, what if Amazon decided one year, hey, we're not going to pay taxes. The biggest retailer in the world decided that they're not going to pay their taxes. That would be a slap to the IRS's face. What? You didn't what? You just, huh? And then Amazon comes to the table. Well, we had a bad time. My dog died, and I had some things going on, some trauma in my life, so I couldn't pay my taxes. What? What are you talking about? You're the same, because there's a lot of you. You guys add up together, because you guys all, now if hundreds of thousands of you, which you do, because most of you guys just think it's just you. That's the crazy part about it. Hey man, hey man, we going out tonight? Yeah. Oh, let me do a couple runs real quick, make a few dollars so I can have some money to get some drinks. If that's you, I know you're not pulling out 30% for taxes. I know you're not doing it. No, Ben, I'm just talking about to the federal government. I'm not talking about the cities. I'm just talking about to the federal government, federal level. Now you guys are You've been in it deep 2, 3 years, 4 years, not paying your taxes and working like that, doing all the 1099 jobs. Because at first, with this gift, at first I used to say to myself, because I understand everything is you guys, okay? You're the currency, you're the everything, okay? I understand this. So when I'm walking around the city and I see all these jobs available, at first, for the life of me, I could not figure out why there were so many jobs available. It just didn't make any sense, because I know debt slaves have to work. You guys have to work. You guys are in debt. It didn't make no sense to me until I started talking to Andre. Andre says, excuse me, all the new available 1099 jobs. What that says is this: the majority of you guys are doing the 1099 jobs. That's why there's so many regular jobs available. The majority of you guys that do the 1099 jobs, you guys have adjusted yourselves to not paying taxes. Okay. Plus, you kind of get, it's a little bit more freedom. You guys have had a taste of it now. For you to go back to a regular W-2 job, which they're going to be taking your taxes, and you're trapped in the building or wherever you're going to be working. That's why you guys don't want that. That's why there's so many jobs available. That tells me that the majority of you guys are doing that, and the majority of you guys are not paying your taxes. That's true. You're not. You get so deep, you're like, oh, fuck it. Man, I'm too scared to know how much I owe. They're going to charge me penalties. Oh, that's coming regardless. You either can start that now, or you can wait till they find you. And I promise you this, you're not going to get really good sleep knowing that. Because now here's the circle that you're in. Okay, this is the they always tell you about the rat race, the rat running on the wheel, right? Now everybody knows when somebody mentions that the debt slaves, you guys know you're the rat, right? You always know pretty much you're the rat in the wheel. I get it. Okay, I get it, right? But you don't know, and you clearly see, listen, you clearly see the rat is powering the wheel. You clearly see that because you see the rat running, right? But you guys don't know what the wheel is, because the wheel is psychological. Now, say like you've been an Uber driver, you guys are doing multiple, like mixed in Instagram. I saw a video the other day, you got and all in the same day, Uber, Insta, this and that. I'm like, damn. That says you ain't paying taxes. But anyway, you get yourself in that loop doing all of those jobs and not paying any taxes. Now you've adjusted your life to working and not paying taxes. Now you're trapped in the wheel. You've trapped yourself. You've trapped yourself. Now you make it up in your mind that you're too deep. I'm not going to them, man. They're going to just blah, blah, blah. This is what you need to do, okay? First of all, you need to face your fear that you haven't been paying your taxes, okay? You got to stop, turn around, knock on their door. Hey, it's me. But before you do that, this is what I want you to do, okay? I want you to go find I want you to find a tax professional, tax attorney who is personally debt free. That is a requirement, okay? Most of these attorneys always have free consultations. Sign up for a free consultation. Make sure they're a professional tax attorney. And then when you get in their office, you ask them, hey, are you personally debt free? That is a requirement. If they turn to you and act like they don't know what you're talking about, that's the wrong attorney. Huh? What's that? If they sound confused to the question, you can re-ask it, and if they continue to sound confused, that is the wrong tax attorney. Now, when you find the right one, they're going to be shocked that you asked that question, because I guarantee you they will have never had a person ask them that question. Hey, are you personally debt free? They probably turn to you and say, who told you to ask me that? That's what they probably will ask you. You say, cool, I've been looking for you for a long time. Here's the deal. I've been working for Uber and Lyft and whatever, and I hadn't paid my taxes for the last 4 years. What do I do? Because if you make these steps to the IRS without them having to send you a letter, knock on your door, that obviously tells them that you want to get this shit resolved, because you're coming to them. They didn't come after you. You're coming to them. And if you come, listen, and this is very important. This is why you must get a tax attorney person who is personally debt free. Okay. They will know what to do, and they will know what to do properly. So when you come to the IRS, everything will be in order. And they will clearly be able to see that it is in order. That will also show them that, hey, I'm trying to get this straightened up. Because if you're not paying taxes, right, that means you don't understand them. That's what that really means. Okay, you guys really don't understand that. But if you're not paying taxes, that means you don't understand how they work. That's why you're not paying them. And everybody knows if you don't pay your taxes, you could possibly go to prison. Do you understand that? That should give you a sign of something. You should say to yourself, wow, I'm willing to risk prison for not paying taxes. That's a problem. That is a problem. Because prison involves taking away the time in your life. The time in your life, which is worth more than money and taxes and everything. That's the top dog right there, time. Your time here on earth is limited. There's nothing that comes before time. So you turn around and say, hey, wait a minute. If I do that, you could take away the time of my life? Yeah, then I'm going to take care of that. That's how you got to look at it. I better get on that. Because let me give you a hint, okay? So you guys can really, I'm gonna give you a bigger picture so you can understand. Say like you are a person that works. You've been doing 1099. You've upgraded your car, your place you live. You're just doing it, and all those years you haven't been paying taxes. Okay. But you clearly see that your lifestyle has increased for the better. You got a better car, you got a better place to live, everything. But you haven't been paying taxes. So when the IRS comes knocking on your door, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? I didn't know. I mean, I'm seriously asking. What are you going to say? Say like you are at home in your new place with your car parked out in the driveway. You've been ignoring all the IRS letters that they've been sending you, right? Excuse me. You've just been ignoring them or whatever, pretend like you're not there, whatever. Next thing you know, they pull up to your house. And on their way to your door, they have to walk past your car or cars in the driveway, walk up your steps to your big double doors, and you answer and says, hey, look, hey, we're the IRS. We're here because you haven't been paying no taxes. What is going to be your response? I don't get it. And if I was an IRS agent, I'd be curious as hell. I'd be like, what are you going to respond with? I'm dying to hear it. Do you know why we're here? You obviously don't. The point is, there's nothing you can say because your numbers will never make any sense at all. You have no proof of anything. You don't want to be caught up in that. You just don't. I promise you. This is the. I can only imagine how much tax is not getting paid by 1099 workers right now. Oof. I bet you it's way up there. You guys ain't gonna be able to Google those numbers. But you can prevent that. This is what you do, okay? You get out from amongst the people that are scared of the IRS and they're going to get you and they're the big bad guys and the big bad wolves. They're keeping you down. You got to get away from those kind of people because they have no idea what they're talking about. Nothing. If you are with some friends, and especially you younger people, okay, I hope you guys are listening, because you definitely don't want to get scarred at your age, okay, with a felony in your 20s over non-payment of taxes. I hope you guys are listening. Because you guys, the younger you are, it's just a natural thing. You guys just, hey, I'm young, I'm small, I got a right to be stupid, not to do whatever you're thinking. That's not true. And if you and all your friends do the same thing and you guys are all not paying taxes, that's why you guys are friends. Usually, there's always one in any group. I put it this way. Usually, there's always one person in the group that knows they're different. It doesn't matter what group you're in. It's just, even if it's a bad group, there's always a person in there that says, yeah, I think I'm supposed to be doing something different. I think I am. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this. But they have nobody to turn to confirm what they're thinking. They don't have none of their friends, they're all doing the same thing. Being scared of taxes is a sign that you're doing it wrong. I'm just here to tell you that, okay? If you're terrified of the IRS, if you're terrified of the IRS agents are going to come get you, that means you're not following the rules if they're coming to you, right? If they're coming to you, that means you're not following the rules. If you're following the rules, your math on your credit or the math on your tax returns and everything will be all correct. Why would they come bother you if the math is correct? Go find a tax attorney who is personally debt free. There are no exceptions. That is a requirement. Okay? Again, you guys are going to be embarrassed. Hey, I'm too scared to. This is what you're saying, okay? So you can get over that fear of asking such what sounds like a personal question, which is not, because you're coming there for business. Oh, that might be too personal. They might get insulted. So what? So who cares if they get insulted? They're the wrong attorney. Because the correct attorney is going to know what you mean by that. If you ask them, say, hey, you personally debt free? They're going to be like, yeah, of course. That's part of it. Did you guys know that? You guys don't even know that. If you are a professional, listen, if you are a professional in the tax game, whatever, attorney, tax preparer, whatever, right? A professional, and you are not personally debt free, you are doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And that's a requirement in your profession. Did you know that? That's a requirement. Because and you're probably confused. Let me tell you why that sounds probably so confusing. If there are professionals in tax, professional business, whatever, and they're not personally debt free, guess what that means? They don't own the business of themselves. You are hiring a person that does not own the business of themselves, and they're selling you finance. They're telling you information they don't even own themselves. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't take financial advice, especially tax advice, from a person who does not own themselves, and especially and doesn't know it. Now, these type of tax professionals, they will cost more money. They will be harder to find, but you accept nothing less. Nothing less. You make that priority. If you are behind on your taxes, you haven't been paying, you make that priority number one. And if you do, you will thank me for the rest of your life. You'll thank me for the rest of your life. Anybody you hear, like, these are the signs so you can listen around you, okay? Anybody you hear, like, they talk about fear of taxes or the tax man and blah, that means those people don't understand how it works. That's why they're scared of a thing. Taxes are a thing. No different than a bowl or a keyboard or a cup. Would you look at a cup and say, ooh, I'm scared of that cup? Ooh, that plate really scares me. That laptop is looking vicious. No, that sounds so stupid, doesn't it? That's how it sounds when you hear people talking fearful about taxes. Why are you? Because they're doing it wrong. That's why they fear it. Adding their feelings to a thing that makes no sense. CENTS. If this is you not paying your taxes, get over that fear. I'm giving you a big piece of wonderful information for absolutely free. Go find a personally debt-free tax attorney. They will help get you out of this. Get over the fear of even asking them that question. Hey, are you personally debt-free? They will be more. Hell, you might even get lucky and come across a debt-free tax attorney that doesn't really understand what it truly means to be a debt-free tax attorney professional. Do you know how many professional tax attorneys there are out there that are in personal debt and don't know that's a big part of they don't know? Hundreds of thousands of them. You're probably thinking, how could they be in that profession and not know that? Because it has nothing to do with that this is not taught in school. This is not taught in college. It's a psychological thing. You think here, let me give you an example so you guys can really understand this, okay? It's 100% mathematically impossible to own the equity in a mortgaged house. That's 100% impossible, mathematically speaking. But yet millions of people believe they do. That's what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? That's a psychological thing. If it's not mathematically true, it's psychological for you. That's how it works. So when you say that, you hear me say that, even if you are a professional tax attorney who is in personal debt and don't believe it, if you don't believe it, you don't believe math. That's what you don't believe. It's not me. You don't believe the laws of mathematics. That's what you don't believe. So if you are a professional listening to me, even though what I'm saying is mathematically true and you still get mad, you could either continue to be mad and continue to stay at the level you are in your profession, or you can come see me and elevate yourself among about 99% of your peers in the same field as you. You think the IRS can't, you think they can't see who understands that capitalism is psychological? Of course they can. When they hear me speak, they clearly understand that I know, clearly. There is no mistake. Because when I look at it now, that's the backbone of the economy, okay? Period. That's clear. No different than a referees at a football game. What do you think a football game would be like if there were no referees? What do you think would happen? It's the same thing. IRS agents are the referees to the tax system. Why do you think there are referees at a basketball game? For everybody to follow the fucking rules. That's why they're there. Say like you let a family member stay with you at your house, okay? And this family member smokes weed. You tell the family member, hey, if you come live with me, you can't smoke weed in my house because I don't allow that. Say like they're in a state that is legal, okay? You can't smoke weed in my house. They say, okay. And then you come home and they're smoking weed in your house. What do you do at that moment? Do you say, okay, I know, I'm just going to ignore it? Or are you going to be saying, hey, what do you, and that person says, I don't care what you say. I'm going to smoke weed in your house as much as I want. Would the person still be living in your house? No. It's the same thing. Do you get it? So if you fear them and you think running to continue to run, you've been getting away with it 4 or 5 years. Why do you think the president extended it to 10? Because a lot of you guys ain't paying your taxes. There's many of you. Because if you're not paying your taxes, guess what else you ain't doing? You're not filing your taxes either. It all goes hand in hand. I want you guys to understand that. It all goes hand in hand. So like, here's an example. Say like you are embezzling money, okay? Or you've stolen, say illegal gain, earned, stolen money, right? And then, but also you have a regular job, right? Or a regular business or whatever, right? And you're filing your taxes regularly with your regular business job, but you cannot add in the stolen money because it's stolen. Okay. It's like a double-edged sword, right? So you're filing your taxes, and then all of a sudden you get caught. Not only are you in trouble for just stealing money, you could possibly be in trouble for tax fraud because you lied about your income because you didn't add in the stolen money. It's just the way it is. It's almost comical. I ain't gonna lie. It's comical. Because you guys will, with this new generation of of delivery, and it's going to get worse. Pretty soon, you mark my words, there's going to be 24-hour delivery one day. You better believe that. Believe that. That's coming. And guess who's going to be doing those jobs? 1099 workers. I saw a video, there's several videos of a guy, he was showing himself working 10 hours straight, 21 hours straight. I'm like, damn, there is no limit. And he was doing several, which I didn't know. You could just be on different apps at the whole time, but I guess you can, because you get to choose when you want to work for which one, right? And all these dings going off on his phone. I'm like, whoa. He's sleeping in his car. Now, me personally, I'm just not down with getting food. Fast food, I absolutely refuse to. It's like, I already know fast food is bad for me, okay? I'm not going to pay to have it delivered to me at a higher price. I mean, it's already expensive enough for fast food, right? But you add on the cost of having it delivered to me, I don't have to go anywhere. That is just, no. That's where I put my foot down. I'm not doing that. If I'm going to go get fast food, I'm going to have to get in my car and drive to the place to go get it. That's what I have to do. And that alone deters me. It's like, no, I don't feel like starting my truck up, getting in, go all the way. No, I'm not doing that. "24-hour delivery." You watch. And a lot of you guys, this channel is not, it's meant for those of you guys ready to hear. Now, I also understand that the majority are meant not to hear. Okay, this is what I accept. I understand that. I understand the way it works. The system works. I'm not here to change anything. I don't care how it is what it is. I learn the rules. I play by them. That's it. That's how it works. I'm just here to help the people get on the correct side of the system. There's a positive side of the system and there's a negative side of the system. And guess what? You have that choice of which side you want to be on it on. You have a choice. You get to choose which side of the system you want to, the financial system you want to be on. You get to choose. That's a choice of yours. If you finance a car, you're going to be on the negative side of it. If you invest while you have student loan debt, you are going to be on the negative side of it. If you finance the house once, twice, three, the same house, if you got 2 mortgages on the same house and you refinance that same house 3 or 4 times, you are on the negative side of it. If you believe you own the equity in a house that you didn't have the money to buy, you are on the negative side of it. That's called business. You are what is called the housing market. Okay, that's you. You are the car loan, the average car payment, whatever, 7, that's you. The average credit card payment crowd, that's you. That's all you. Anytime you hear the average and you know mentally that that's you, they're talking to you. That means you're part of the average. Because people that own their homes with no mortgage, they're part of the average the average who are homeowners. See the difference? You guys talk about the average mortgage payment. Then there's the average homeowner with no mortgage. it's crazy to be able to see, like, to see the change, which is beautiful. It's amazing. And I honestly, I feel like it's a privilege to be able to see it happening. It's a privilege. A lot of people don't know it is and will never know. That's how it's supposed to be too. That's the same thing. It's all the same. But to be able to see one way of doing things for almost a century, right? You just really, you kind of look back, and when you can see everything and then look back in history, like for example, now that I understand capitalism is psychological, then I'll look back in history, financial history. It's like, oh, ah, okay, got that. That's why you did that, to do that. Because with this knowledge, you understand, I understand that as long as whatever era is capitalism, it's all the same. You guys are the currency. It's you, debt slaves. You. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the year. It still was you back in 1968. Was capitalism back in 1953? Yeah, it was you. It was you guys. It was me. I followed all the rules, got good grades in school, went to college. I went to college later, thank God. I'm so glad I did that. I knew once I graduated high school, I remember saying to myself, I don't know what I want to go to college for, so I'm not going to go. That's what I said to myself. I sure did. And I said, the pressure of, hey, this is what you're supposed to do at 18, you're supposed to go straight to college. I said to myself, I don't know what I'm going to go for, so I'm going to wait. So I went and got a job. Thank God I did that. Oh my God, I'm so glad I did that. And I didn't go to college till I was in my 30s, which I was a little more mature. I was like, okay, I'm in my 30s. I got to start thinking of a more professional career. And then I was more focused on what I wanted to do when I went to college. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Computers, I knew that. That was my goal because I knew computers wasn't going anywhere. Thank God I did that. Oh, man. But had I known in my 20s that capitalism is psychological, man, I might have chosen to be a tax attorney, a professional tax attorney. I probably would have chose that profession. I even, believe it or not, I think about it, I'm like, damn, I could be a pretty badass IRS agent. I really could. Because it would be easy for me to catch people, because you guys, okay, put it this way. Debt slaves, you guys don't know that you're debt slaves. Okay. Now there's different levels in the debt matrix. Okay. But you guys don't know, you guys are all debt slaves. So there's some debt slaves that know more than other debt slaves within the system, but you guys are still debt slaves. And the majority of you guys get your tax evasion stuff, knowledge from TV, movies, your friends. Because the first thing I would do is say like you're a person who is committing tax evasion. The first thing I would go look at is your personal credit report. Your personal credit report will tell me right away if I'm on the right if I'm on the right track. Because you just don't, with people that do tax evasion, you just don't wake up one day and say, hey, today I'm gonna start doing tax evasion. That's a gradual buildup. That's a gradual buildup. You get yourself deeper and deeper in due to your own self and financing bullshit. And then all of a sudden you start blaming taxes. Hey, that's the reason why I can't get ahead. No, it's because of you. It's not because of taxes, it's because of you. So your credit report would reflect that. And it's like you hear people say, "Hey man, the IRS they got their hands in everything. Everything." Yes, they do. So what? All you need to know is that you understand that that is true. That's all you need to understand. All you need to understand that that is true. I don't care. So what? So I don't care if they can see in my bank accounts. I don't care. I already told them. Know what? That's why I don't care if they see in my bank accounts, because I told them about my bank accounts. Do you understand? I told them about every dime I was making and how I made it. I told them already. So if they decide to go look and see that it matches, who cares? I don't care. So what? Man, someone's it's like because there's been a couple times in my life I've come across some people that have said, "Oh man, the IRS snatched all this money out of my bank account." You think they just woke up one day and just did it? They're not going to tell you that part. The people that tell you things like that, they're not going to tell you what led them up to snatching the money out of the bank account. Oh man, they just did it and didn't even tell. Okay, whatever. Hey, whatever. I don't want to hear no more. Your personal credit report will tell everything. Mm. And you get that shit on your credit report for like, because this is what's going to happen. Okay, this is what's going to happen, and I'm sure they already know. Okay, you're not going to have the money for the back taxes. You're not. When they finally catch you, you're not going to have the money to pay them, because if you're not paying if you're not paying taxes, that means you don't have the money, or so it just I'm not sure, I'm not saying it right, but of course you're not going to have the money because you're already doing it, so you're not going to have the money. So when they finally catch you, you're not, so now you're going to have to make payments with interest, and that goes on your credit report that you're making payments on back taxes. Okay, now imagine you've hired a professional tax attorney. Listen, and they're out there. Okay, don't think it's not true. A professional tax attorney who owes the IRS back taxes. Are you crazy? You think I'm gonna hire a professional tax attorney who owes back taxes? You are bananas. I would never do that. But you guys don't know that, because that's not a question you would ask. You're just so terrified. Oh my God, I'm going to go to prison. I don't know what to do. And you come to most of these tax attorneys in a panic because of what you caused on yourselves. Because I'm trying to help you. Okay. Can you imagine how insulting it is? Like, and you got to be honest with yourself. Have you been paying your taxes? Just be honest with yourself. No. Okay. Then they come knocking on the door and they say, "Hey, where's the money? You guys, you got everybody got to participate. You got to pay your fair share too, right?" And then you say, "Oh, f that! I'm gonna hire an attorney to fight this." They're gonna be like, "What? They're gonna be like, "What are you fighting? I don't get it. Did you not pay your taxes? No. Then what are you fighting?" Now we have to add in more resources to prove you wrong, to mathematically prove you wrong in a court. You got to pay for that. It's insulting. You got a brand new car, a brand new house, uh actually 2 new cars because all the extra money you're making that you haven't been paying tax, but you're going to take us to court to fight what? Go hire a professional tax attorney who is personally debt free, and you go to the IRS. But you go to them with your shit in order and they can see it. I want to reiterate this, okay? If you go hire a professional tax attorney who is personally debt free, you tell them what you did, give them all your shit, let them put it all in the correct order, take it to the IRS with your shit in order. That's going to automatically tell them that you are serious about solving your tax problems. They would clearly see that you didn't decide to do the shit yourself after not paying taxes for 5 years. You decided you're going to go ahead and try to straighten it out yourself. Don't make that mistake. Do not make that mistake. Like when you see most of these tax attorneys that are on commercials, hey, come to me, we'll save you from the IRS and blah blah. Nah. Good luck with that. I wouldn't trust those type of attorneys. I just wouldn't. Those attorneys that you see on TV, I strongly suggest you ask to say, "Can I see your personal credit report?" Fast talking, hey, come over here and do this. Now imagine this. Imagine if you sat down, you saw that attorney on TV, okay, and you went into their office and sat down, and they were still talking the same way they did on the commercial. Would you still hire them? Would you still hire them? Hey, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in my office. Thank you. You'll be like, why are you talking like that? That's how you got to look at TV commercials like that. You're talking about something serious as taxes, and they're talking like that. You got to ask yourself, why are they talking like that? There are a particular audience that they're looking to reach. People with hardly any money and that are in fear. Most of those type of attorneys, they already know that you're going to come to them in fear because the IRS contacted you. Now you're in fear. Now you're going to do whatever they say, pay whatever they want because you don't want to go to jail or in trouble or something, whatever. Now it's by fear. If you want to break that fear and understand how it really works, if you want to break that fear, do what I'm telling you. And if the attorney is expensive, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to reduce your lifestyle to do something to be able to afford that type of attorney, tax attorney. But you do what it takes. Hey, if you work this hard and you got multiple jobs and you staying up hours and hours and hours doing deliveries, you can do it for yourself too. You refocus and do it for yourself. Don't be like these other hundreds of thousands of 1099 workers crossing their fingers, hoping they don't get a letter from the IRS. You don't want to be part of that group. That group of people don't get any sleep at night. That group of people are scared to go to their mailbox. That group of people are scared to see a letter titled IRS on the outside. Oh my God. You don't want to be part of that group. up, Alonzo? Andre? If you're in a group, and even if you're in your family, if you got people that add their feelings about taxes, they talk in fear of the IRS. They believe it's normal. Believe it or not, there's people that believe it's normal to be making payments on back taxes and still have a car payment too. Can you imagine if you think it's normal to make car payments and back tax payments at the same time every month? That's a problem. That is not normal. That's not normal. That's only normal for the people. Listen, that's only normal for the people that believe it's normal. And right now, let me tell you something else too. Right now, and it's just business. For those of you guys, you 1099 workers that haven't been paying your taxes, you're in fear right now. That's what you're in. You're in fear. You're fear of that knock on the door. So now you got to do something really, really fast. I got to do something to make a lot of money so I can make sure I have the money to pay this bill when they finally catch me. Then you got the other debt slaves that come out with stuff that prey on that fear that you guys don't know that they're preying on that fear. That you guys have no idea that they're doing that. It's called business though. It's not a big deal. Telling you how you can get rich from properties you don't own. You don't even have any money. You have to have money to buy property, to earn interest and to earn cash flow. You have to buy it. But since you have none and you're running in fear, you're thinking this is the quick, easiest way. Why? Because the guy on the video is telling me that's what I can do. Even though whatever the guy or the woman's telling, everything they're saying is mathematically impossible. That's what they're saying. You don't know that, but that's your problem if you don't know that. Then they get you. Hey, just take out a second mortgage. You take this money and you invest it into this plan that I created to make you $10,000 a month for the rest of your life. Whatever you guys want to hear, whatever it takes, it's called business. And then you go and do it, thinking it's going to do that. But the only thing you have is, instead of one mortgage, you have two. You earned yourself two mortgages. You don't have no cash flow. If you have to borrow money, listen how I simplify it. If you have to borrow money to invest, that means you have no money to invest. I'm going to say that one more time. If you have to borrow money to invest, that means you have no money to invest. What are fears? What are fears? False evidence appearing real psychologically. FEARS. False evidence appearing real psychologically. Some of you guys will get it. The majority of you will not. The majority of you will say, he's so stupid. Psychological doesn't start with an S. Most of you guys are saying that. I know you guys are. That means you don't get it. That's what that means. You don't get it. Because you guys don't know to stop and say, then why does it sound like that? When it doesn't, psychological doesn't begin with an S. You don't know to stop yourself and say, then how come it doesn't sound like that? Because it clearly doesn't begin with it. It begins with a P. That's to show you that The fears that you're experiencing, you're supposed to turn around instead of running from your fears. Fears are there to tell you something. Okay? That's why they keep coming back. Have you ever noticed that? Something that you fear in your life, it could be anything. I'm just talking financial wise. Something that you fear, it keeps returning. It keeps coming back. It might give you a little break, but it keeps coming back. Give you a break, because you're not turning around and it's trying to tell you something. You got to stop and you got to turn around and say, okay, what do you want to tell me? And it will tell you. It actually will show you. You might not like what it's going to tell you. You might not like what it's going to show you, but it's going to do either or. It's going to do it. And the wonderful thing about being a human being, we can choose. You can choose to believe what fear shows you, or you can choose not to and turn back around and say, I don't believe it. And then fear is going to say, okay, I'll come back later. So if you're years behind on filing taxes and you're scared to go to them, that's called fear. Do you think and the majority of you guys think this way too, and I'm just pointing out something, okay, so you can recognize it. The majority of you guys are so paralyzed in fear that you have chosen not to address it. The thinking that it's going to just go, whatever, it's something in your brain. You thinking it's just going to go away or not going to. There's millions of people in the United States. They're not going to just get me. I'm too small. Whatever. That's all a fantasy in your head. That's imagination. If you just do what I'm telling you to do, go get a professional tax attorney who is personally debt free and address it, that fear will be gone because you'll have it straight. Of course, you're going to get in some kind of something. Okay, you can't just not get punished for doing something that you wasn't supposed to do. But I guarantee you, and I'm not attorney. I'm not saying I'm guaranteeing anything, but I just assume that if you come to them and you come to them properly and things are in order, I'm assuming that the punishment is not going to be as bad. Maybe, I don't know. That's an assumption. That is something that just makes sense to me. Because if you do that, like, put it this way. If you went and found a professional tax attorney who is personally debt free that put your shit in order, I'm assuming that should be pretty clear that you took this decision seriously. Because I can only imagine, like, when debt slaves try to do their own taxes, I can only imagine how many mistakes that are made on a tax form. That should be pretty clear. That should be easy to see, like for like an IRS agent that probably looks at these tax forms on a daily basis, 40 hours a week or how many hours they work, right? I imagine there's a pattern created automatically. There's a pattern created, and it's pretty easy to see the novice people that don't understand how it works. So, and that goes for the same as fact that it must be pretty easy to see that knows exactly how it works. You see the difference? That means I'm assuming that it should say, hey, this person who has not been paying their taxes for the last 4 or 5 years, they look like they have taken this pretty serious, that they're going to, I mean, it'll be clear that you are there to straighten this out, to make it right, to make it correct. Because once you do, you'll never let that happen again, ever. I promise you, you'll never let that happen again. Now, if this is you, if you are a 1099 worker and you haven't paid your taxes, I'm here to help you. I'm not just here to talk about you. I'm here to help you. I'm giving you the answers. I'm giving you the keys to get rid of that fear. Because this is, you guys understand, this is going to grow. This is the new way of doing things. Can you imagine? Put it this way. Imagine how much money businesses are saving right now. You have all this money. You got people, think of Amazon. They're having all this product delivered, and the majority of the people are, oh my God, 1099. They're not responsible for your taxes, your insurance, your bloggity blah. Can you imagine they got rid of whole departments that they don't even need anymore and making more money than before? Mm. That, like, here, okay, here, let me give you guys a 1099, a person that has been doing delivery for years now. I'm gonna show you something which you cannot see. Okay. And you can make money, you can make tons of money, either on your own or from the company that you are working for right now. Like if you're an Uber driver, you're a Lyft driver, or whatever driver, right? After a few years, you also create a pattern, but you don't know it. You got to know that you're doing it. You think you probably thought of so many ways. You know what would be easier if they had this in the app, or you drive this way and you turn that way instead of having this do that. You guys are finding the ways to make, like when you guys are in the process of you guys trying to make the most money. Your mind is so focused on the money, on how to make money faster. You guys don't know you're already inventing ways how to make it faster, but you're only doing it for yourself. You don't know that the company wants to know that information that you're doing, and they're willing to pay for it. But they don't know, like the company, they can see the computers and blah, 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 but you guys are actually doing it. So you're thinking, I can make my money faster if I do this, go that way, cut that, blah, blah, blah. The company wants to know that information because they're trying to remain on top. If you can help them become even more efficient and faster, you come up with your idea, or you come up with a company that does it within the current system. But when you're in it and you're in debt and you're so focused in on the money, you don't really see what you're developing as you're doing it. Because that's what I do sometimes when I watch some of these guys that be, hey, I'm doing a 16-hour day, I'm doing a 20-hour day. I just listen to the things that they do. They're like, hey, I go to this one place and I give these guys some extra pizza to get my stuff out to me faster. Hey, do it. What do you do? What is the incentive that you're doing to make those people work faster for you? Then you come up with then you come up with your own delivery business, but maybe the places that you deliver to, hey, bring them donuts on Fridays. I don't know. You just come up with it. People always remember, like in this world, people always remember the people that are kind to them. I promise you that. With this busy world where people so focused on money, don't care about the people, the workers, they remember the people that showed them respect. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, you're working hard. Because it's true that they're still a human being. I don't care. Sometimes I'll say, wow, how these people are working inside the Amazon warehouses. First of all, that's a choice. You choose to work there. I don't really care about the condition, but I still believe that they're human. Okay. No, not believe. I still understand those are human beings and they're working. But working under those conditions, that's a different kind of choice. People choose to work there. Amazon doesn't say you have to work here. That's called slavery. That's illegal. The warehouses couldn't be that big if they didn't have the people to work there in them. Is this you? Now, just let you guys know if I get cut off, it's because I'm in South Carolina, so we're getting the tail, the sides end of the outsides of the storm or whatever, right? So it's pretty windy and rainy, but it's not too bad. But here's a link. If you're a 1099 worker and you want some information on how to approach something to get out of that mess and you haven't been paying your taxes, I'm here to help you for free here. What'd you say, James? That's a fact. I tip the cooks, and they always, they give me more food and better cuts of meat. Yes, it's you know what it is. It's just a respect thing. Wherever I go, it's a habit of mine now because this is what I do. When I greet people, I make sure I say it loudly and clearly. I went to which is crazy. This blew my mind the other day because I'm down south, so there's a food line, right? I was in the food line getting something, and then I went through the line through a checker. Okay, now there was a guy in front of me, and she young girl, young black girl. She was checking, and he's doing his card, or she's scanning, and I hear her talking. But I'm like, but she's not talking to the dude, and she's not talking to the customer. And I was like, who is she talking to? She had her phone next to the register on speaker. And she was chit-chatting with her friend on the phone on speaker. I was like, what? In front of the customers. I'm the customer, and she's scanning my stuff, and she's like, yeah, girl, we this and that. I'm like, what? I guarantee you Food Line don't know you're doing that. I guarantee that. But as a business owner, I'd say to myself, she's not serious about working here. I got to listen, if a business has to tell you to not, I'm sure it's part of the policy already. I'm sure that policy is in there. You can't be on your phone while you're working, I'm sure, right? She's clearly breaking policy in front of customers. I didn't say anything, I'm just like, wow, you were on the phone having a conversation. Oh, I mean, a whole side conversation about whatever the fuck they was talking about. I was like, damn, the managers must not be in the store right now or something. But when I see that, I believe like the businesses, they're desperate for people now. They have to be, because all you guys are doing 1099s now, delivery. That's the new way of doing things, making money, being your quote own boss, all that. Now that you guys have had a taste of sort of freedom, I know it feels like freedom when you're delivering and you're like, hey, I'm free to do. I know it seems like that, but you're still not free. Being in your car for 12 hours a day driving, that's not freedom. You just switched offices. Instead of being in a building, you're now in a moving car. I don't know, man. With me, when it comes to that, and call it paranoid, but I understand people have feelings and their emotion. What if you want some food and the person that's delivering your food is having a bad day? What if they don't like black people, white people? I don't know, man. What if they know your religion is not? I don't know, man. I just can't. Because when I think, like, this is how I think, okay? I know everybody doesn't think the same. I know when I picture food being delivered, the only mind frame I can picture that in is my mind frame. What would I do if I was a person who delivers people's food? I know I personally would never go into somebody's food. I would never spit in their drink or do anything harmful to their food. That's me, because I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me. So I wouldn't do that to anybody. But I also understand that everybody doesn't think like me. What if you have somebody delivering food, but they're so in debt they don't have any, the only thing, they don't have any money to buy food, and you're delivering food? You know how hard that must be to be sniffing food and you're hungry. This is just how I think. But also, as a person that does that many hours, you guys could create your own side business to add. Most of you guys have an idea, believe it or not. Most of you guys have an idea how to make one of these companies more efficient than the other. You guys have no idea how much a company would pay you for that. The way to become more efficient can only come from you guys doing it. You guys do it. So that information comes from you. They can't own anything that they don't know exists. They have to know it exists first. What if you know something that they don't know to be more efficient? Because you got to remember, these big companies, in order to remain there, you have to have the attitude of saying, I could I could be overtaken at any time. You think, like, I guarantee you the owners of Amazon, or you want to say Jeff Bezos, but whatever, right? The owner never, I believe the people that are way up there, they never once believed that a company cannot come along and overtake Amazon. Now, the average person probably thinks, oh man, there's nobody that can beat Amazon. I guarantee you Amazon never thinks like that, ever, because that'll be the start of your demise if you do. That will be the start of your downfall if you believe you could never be overtaken. Because evolution always happens. Evolution is nothing stops evolution. Like, you think about this, like Sears. Remember Sears? Sears was around for almost 100 years, if not 100 years. Do you know what it takes to have a company around for 100 years? Now, as a young man, I'm coming up on the tail end of that 100 years. Oh, all the Sears are closing down and this and that. You see it happen. Like in Seattle, there's this big ass building that belonged to Sears. Now it belongs to the Starbucks headquarters. But people that don't know, that used to be the Sears building for many, many years. Now, if you just Google that Starbucks headquarters in Seattle, you'll see it. But that used to be the Sears building. They used to own that whole building. Years. Now you got to think to yourself, what does it take to be in business for 100 years? You know how many? Can you imagine how many businesses Sears saw come and go during their 100-year reign? Can you imagine? What do they do that the majority of people do not? Businesses like that understand that customers keep them alive. Customers, your customers, they keep you alive. You can't stay in business with no customers. So you got to treat your customers with respect. You have to. Your customers want to feel like they're being respected by giving you their hard-earned money. Here, like when people hire me, they already know what they're going to get, and I'm going to deliver. When they make an appointment and they call, hey, I want to make this appointment at 6 o'clock. I call at 6 o'clock. I don't call late. hey man, sorry, my dog was doing this and that. No, if this person is paying me money to be here at this time, I am there at that time. Now, if they're late or they're not ready, that's on them. I really don't, long as it's not me. But even my time is valuable too. Like sometimes I'll get some people call me up for a consultation to talk, and they want to talk about. Now I don't mind. You want to spend your money on talking about trying to debunk me or something. I'm not sure what people do that. Why did? But if you want to spend your money doing that, you can. But at the same time, you know what that tells me? That means I'm not charging enough. That means I have to go up on my hourly rate to even talk to me. Because the more money it is, the more serious people I'm going to. If you're dropping, hey, my service is for to talk to me, it's $500 an hour. The only people that are going to pay me are the serious people that know they're going to get their money back plus more. They're not going to be the people that say, "Hey, man, but this, sometimes the calculator can be wrong." And this, and no, okay, that means I'm not charging enough. If you're still talking like that, if you're talking to me, talk about sometimes the calculator is sometimes wrong. That means I'm not charging enough per hour to talk to me. If you get your shit straight, get your taxes straight. Okay. Once you get your taxes straight, you get out of debt. Your view, put it this way, okay? Say like you're a 1099 worker and you need help getting your shit straight and you came to me because I'll tell you exactly what to do, how to do it, whatever, right? And you continue to do what you do, I guarantee you your view on the business, if you're an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, because this is what it tells me when I see people do all this stuff. Like if you do multiple apps, and I know the majority of you doing it for money, but that takes you got a go-getter to do that. So that tells me you already have it in you. You can go 10 hours delivering shit and making plans and figuring out. That means you already have it in your mind on how to do it. But the problem is that you don't own yourself doing. That's the problem. When you don't own yourself and you're doing that, that means you're doing it wrong. That's not how you do it. That's what's holding you back. You do the same job, but you're debt free. Your customers will know you're different. Put it this way. Okay. When you own yourself, okay, you might not think it means anything, but I promise you it does. When you own yourself, and say like you're a delivery driver of food, okay, when you own yourself, you know your customers is your money. Now you take the time to have a nicer car, dress nicer, haircut, hands clean, nails clean. Because you guys don't think customers will look at all that. Because the majority of people I see delivering food, they look like, nah, man, I don't want you delivering my food. That's what I think in my mind. And if I'm thinking that, you better believe customers are thinking that. Somebody's dropping off your food and they look like they haven't taken a shower in 2-3 days. That concerns me. So if you become debt free and you start to care about your appearance, even in the delivery of fast food, I don't see nobody doing that yet. Okay, you think it don't make a difference, but it does. People are weird, man. I'm telling you. But you, every time you are ready, because when you have no debt, you can take the time to do that. You can take the time to be ready, time to properly clean your car. Can you? Because people that deliver food now, not many people that get their food delivered go out and look inside the car of the person that's delivering your food. They will be shocked. If you are a person that regularly gets your food delivered, take the time to walk out to the car and look inside the car of the person delivering your food. No, thank you. No. Now you come along, you create a business, but you're a fast food delivery business, but you have standards. This is how you must dress. You must look and smell clean. People will start to pay you extra money because they will have the comfort of knowing that their food will be there untouched, unbothered, in a clean environment being delivered to them. They will spend no, I'll go ahead and wait for this person to deliver my food because I feel more comfortable. But when you're doing it for the money, you're not paying your taxes. Most of the people, all you gotta do is look now. Go take a look at the videos of the people that make these videos that are working 12, 16-hour day. Look at them. Do they look clean? Do they look like they shower on a regular basis? That's all important, okay? People might not express that because you got to remember this. This is another hole that you guys don't see. Even though, and this is the option that the customer doesn't have that they want to have, but they don't even know they want it. They don't have control over who delivers their food. That's out of their control. They have control of which company they want to use, but they don't. And see, that's the key. Which company they want to use to do whatever, right? Say like you are the smart, clean, dress nice company, whatever, right? Something that, and they know the drivers the drivers of this particular service look and they're like this. You come out to the customer can come out to your car, look into it. You actually fucking invite them to do it. So they can see your car is clean. It's a nice car. The car is washed. It's not filthy, dirty, nasty. Do you know how much a customer will pay you to do that? To go for your company? It's no different than when people go shop at Amazon. You know why people are 100% comfortable shopping at Amazon? Because Amazon has built their trust with the customer. They have built their trust with the customer. That's what they did. So when I go to Amazon and I go look for something to buy something, I don't say, hey, I'm not sure about this, and click, bye, and then I close down my laptop and probably ignore every single notice that they send me to let me know that my customers my item is coming, going, it's stopped, it's delayed, whatever. So many notices that they are annoying, and I love it. They leave no room for you to be mad at them for anything. Shout out to Nick. Appreciate it. 1999 super chat. I was just speaking with this doctor, okay, that was surprised when I told him how much money I make. He stated, "You up there with me." Wow. He's had his loan since 2002 and still owes $20,000. I'm clearly ahead. Clearly. You up there with me? No, I'm not. You can't. Well, this would be pulling down your mask, Nick. No, I'm not down there with you. That would be pulling down your mask, though. You don't do that, but it's crazy, man. When I talk, Nick and I sometimes talk, man, and I love to hear his stories of eye-opening things. Because when it happens, you can't really tell nobody else. You can't. There's nobody. You can't go to your friends and say, "Hey, check this out, man. I figured, they'd be like, what are you talking about? What? You did what?" You can't tell anybody because there's nobody to tell because they won't understand what you're saying. Hey, you're up there with me. You have student loans? Yeah, I'm not down there with you. Oh man, what'd you say, Alonzo? What Alonzo say here? Big facts at Savings Minus Debt. I've done free consults and they come to nothing. When I charge, I only charge $300 an hour. Okay, got it. All those clients showed up on time and purchased. Oh, got it. You're right. You charge the right price. And see, and I'm glad you said that, Alonzo. Thank you very much. First, you have to believe that you are worth $300. It starts with you, right? You have to first start to say, I'm worth $300 an hour. And not only just say it just to be saying it, you have to believe it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know for a fact, listen, I know for a fact that I am undercharging myself right now to talk to me on the phone for an hour. I do. I should be charging $1,000 an hour. That's what I should be charging. $1,000 an hour. Now, most people are like, oh, who do you think you are? You think you're worth 1,000? Yes, I do. I said it, didn't I? Didn't I say it? Now, the majority, if you say a high, and this is what you guys got to understand too, and you got to ignore debt slaves. You got to ignore them. If you come up with some outrageous number, which is outrageous to them, I think I'm worth $500 an hour. And they say, oh my God, you ain't doing. They're talking about themselves. Because when you hear a debt slave talk like that, they're saying that they can never come up with something that people will pay $500 an hour, because it's true. There are people that get paid $1,000 an hour for a consultation. Did you know that? There's people. What do you think that means? If somebody's doing it, that means it can be done. I know for a fact that millions of people do not know what I know. That means it's worth a lot of money. That's what that means. For my time. That's what it means. But you got to believe you're worth that much money. You have to believe it. It starts with you. I want to really reiterate with the people that had crossed over from W-2 to 1099. I promise you don't understand this world. I promise you. If you've been a regular W-2 worker that has had their taxes taken out of their check for your whole last 20 years of your life, and then the economy changes, now you've been thrown out to the 1099, I promise you, you do not know this world. 9 times out of 10, listen, 9 times out of 10, anybody telling you about 1099, you must first see if it's a debt slave telling you that information. If it's a debt slave telling you to get your LLC, this is what you do when you're a 1099 worker and they're in personal debt, that is a debt slave telling you how business works. When they don't own the business of themselves, do you understand? If they're in debt, they don't own the business of themselves. And you have a person that doesn't own the business of themselves trying to tell you about business outside of themselves. How do you know if you're getting financial information from a debt slave? Ask if they have student loan debt. How do you know if you have the right, if you're paying, listen, how do you know if you're paying for the best financial information? Ask the person that you're paying this information from if they have student loan debt. If they have student loan debt, you're paying for information coming from a debt slave. If they have student loan debt and you have student loan debt, that means you guys are the same. You're not different. You're the same. You guys both have student loan debt. Their profession has nothing to do with anything. Their profession has nothing to do with it. If they have student loan debt and you have student loan debt, and you guys both have had student loan debt longer than going to college, like say like you guys both went to college for 4 years, but you guys both have had your student loan debt for 15, you guys are the same. And if you hang around, keep getting information from people that don't know nothing, and you keep running from your taxes, and you continue to keep on working too, by the way, because you have to, because you can't stop. Once you, like you're years in, not paying, say like you've been years at this delivery stuff and you haven't been paying your taxes the whole time, now you're locked in. Now you can't, listen, now you can't stop. You're gonna be paying for an apartment that you're never gonna be sleeping in, because you're gonna always be in your car, trapped yourself. And you have, put it this way, if you're not paying your taxes, that means you're in debt. That's what that means. And if you're in debt and you owe taxes, that's like a double negative. You see what you're doing now? Because what you guys don't know is debt slaves. Your future is only created by your present. That's the only way your future can happen, period. There is no other way. Your future can only be created in your present. So whatever right now, what you're doing right now, paying no taxes, working all these crazy hours, delivering, this is your future. Right now, you're looking at it. Because you're guaranteeing this is your future. Every year you don't pay your taxes. You're guaranteeing this is your future. See what you're looking and see what you're doing today. Look around your environment. Look in your car. If you're listening to this in your car, look around in your car. This is going to be your place for the next 10 years. You keep it up. And on top of that, you're getting older. Now, sometimes you'll come across some elderly looking people delivering food. Now, I'm not saying that every elderly person, some of those elderly people just do it just to get out the house and do it. But believe it or not, the majority of them are doing it because they have to do it. Young debt slaves become old debt slaves. Because I always picture myself, when I'm 75, 80, do I want to be delivering food? No, my knees are going to be pretty bad. So probably not. When I see an elderly person that's 80, that looks like that's a privilege to me to be able to live that long. I'm not going to abuse my privilege by doing that. I'm not. What's up, Nick?
What up, LJ?
What's going on, sir?
What's going on? Salute SMD. Hey. Salute SMD. We here, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, LJ. Like, I was just thinking about that story that I put up, man. It's like I was talking to this guy and he was, oh, how you been? Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, you still doing that sales thing? And I was like, he's like, how much money you making doing that? He just decided to ask me. I was like, this, and that. He's like, oh, you up there with me? And this guy, he really wasn't expecting me to say that amount. I'm not gonna say it right now, but
no.
Then we started talking. He's like, I asked him, you still got your student loans? He's like, oh yeah, I'm almost done. I got 20K left. I was like, and keep in mind, like this guy is much older than me, and I saw him like
right.
you know what I'm saying? So,
right, I do.
Like, oh yeah, I got 20,000. I had him since 2002. And then like keep in mind, guys, it's a shame is he thinks he's much ahead of me, like based off what I do. Like most people don't think I make the type of money I make because of my job. But then, it's funny, he thinks he's much ahead of me, but doesn't realize I have no student loans.
Right.
So I'm really on top of the money in my bank account. I'm up 20 racks over you.
Right.
So,
Right.
You
But
know what I'm
that's
saying?
pulling down your mask, though. You can't say that.
Oh, hell no.
You can't say that.
No, I just
But
smile.
I imagine, so I'm assuming this is going through your mind as he's talking to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so interesting having these financial conversations. As soon as somebody brings up money and this type of conversation, it's automatically I'm in a different league, just understanding the information.
Right. I'm glad to. It's just exciting for me to hear you. I don't know. It's very hard to explain. You know what I'm saying? And I'm curious to see, like, when you because you're going to come across somebody that's going to one day walk up to Nick and ask the right questions. You're going to hear it, and then you're going to be like, okay, he or she is ready. And be able to tell them your knowledge at your age.
Yeah, man. This system has done such a good job making people feel like they own stuff that they don't own and have money that they don't have. Like the system needs people to believe this way and think this way. Oh yeah, you're up. You're a doctor. Oh yeah, don't worry about your student loans. Like, oh, everybody has those.
Right.
You're better than all these other people.
Right.
Dude didn't go to college and didn't get degrees and stuff like that.
And look down on somebody that didn't go, made the right decision.
Thing, because look, the fact that he said what he said meant that he didn't think that a person of doing my type of job, which is sales, would be making the type of money as a doctor would.
Yes. That's exactly what he says. He doesn't know he says that, but he said that.
Right. And I sent him your videos and everything, so hopefully he's listening to this and watching it.
What made you do that? What made you send him the videos?
Because because it's like I can't stand to see somebody continue to go down that path thinking that, So I instead of just revealing.
No, I'm asking, how did you do that? I'm curious. How did you say, hey, at the end of the conversation? Hey,
I was just like, hey, watch this video.
Okay.
That's all I say.
Gotcha.
I don't tell people any more than that. Hey, watch this video. Let LJ do all the talking. Hey, thank you. And hopefully, he wakes up.
Well, we know it's a double-edged sword. At the same time, we know the majority must not know what SMD knows, right?
Right.
We know it's naturally not supposed. The majority are not supposed to, say like this, out of the 100 people, say like you sent 100 people to SMD. We know that maybe 2 is supposed to be able to pick up on it.
Right. And it's one of those things that's obvious, like what you're saying, LJ, like, it's just like once you start understanding this, you'll be forced to make a lifestyle change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like once you understand, wow, like I don't own any of this stuff can be taken away from me, and
it's automatic. It's automatic.
Yeah, it's going to force a lifestyle change, and some people are not willing to give up that lifestyle. They're just too deep in. Oh, if you had all the family parties or whatnot at your house, now what does it look like when you say, "Oh, okay, I don't want to have this big house anymore."
Right.
I don't want to. Right. Now the whole family is like, "Oh, so what happened? Are you down on your times?" Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Right. They're going to just try to keep you in a debt matrix. Oh, what happened? I thought you were doing well.
Yeah.
But
you got to be strong, though. The things you're saying, though. See, the things you're saying, Nick, you have to be mentally strong to resist that.
Right.
And I'll fall for it. Oh, because they were talking about me. Oh man, you're in your 40s, living in a room in your sister's house. What's wrong? You down on your luck, LJ? I thought you was this and that. And it's like,
right.
Ooh wee. Oh, you got that old truck, this and that. What happened to your Lexus? You must have. Oh my God, it was on and on and on. Wow.
Yeah, because look, they're judging you based off how they're used to being judged. Like, oh, okay, if I get this fancy car, even though I can't afford it, people will think that I'm doing better than I am. And then the system is dependent on everybody thinking just like that. The bank is like, yep, that's right. You're nobody unless you got this BMW.
Exactly. That's the commercials. They fell for the commercials. That's what BMW told them. You ain't nothing without this car, and they believe it.
It's wild, LJ.
It's beautiful though. It's beautiful.
It's crazy, man.
But isn't
But
it beautiful at the same time, though? It's beautiful.
yeah, the system is wild. But guys, I'm telling you, like if you're hearing my voice right now, get out of debt. It gives you a level of freedom that you can't get unless you're out of debt. And it's really, it's a peace of mind. It's knowing that, okay, I'm working now. It's because I want to. I
Yeah.
want to. It's not because, oh, I need to pay off this debt. It's a different type of work experience.
Yeah.
And guys, like what LJ is saying, like you're a slave. Like when I was 40, 50 racks in debt, I was working like a slave, you know, and I was like, okay, yep, I'm going to work like a slave until I pay up all this debt, you know? So if you're in that position, all hope is not lost. You just have to do what you have to do, get creative to get the chunks of money you need to attack that debt, and you won't regret it.
See, in your experience, Nick, your age is the target group right now. See, when you're out of it, you can clearly see the target group, right?
Right.
Now you have this knowledge, which is so wonderful because you are in the target group with this knowledge, right? My time when I was in your group, the age which was your age, which was the target group, I was a debt slave. So my experience of that time in my life is going to be very different than yours because you know all the commercials that are coming on TV are not for you. They ain't talking to you. You know that, right?
Right.
The majority of your people in your era are going to be in it and thinking you're weird.
Yeah. But yeah, everything you're saying is true, LJ. For everybody listening, like everything LJ is saying is completely true, and it's mathematically true, and that's really what it is. Everybody has an opinion in finance or what you should do. Like all the people with crypto, not to drop down crypto or anything, but you see what's going on in the market. Everybody's like, "Oh, put your money here, put your money there. Oh, you're stupid, not investing in crypto." And you see what's going on.
What's going on? I haven't even looked. What's going on?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, there's ups and downs in every industry. But like
the unregulated cryptocurrency.
People with student loan debts and all this debt talking about what you should be investing in. And it's like, well, why don't you pay off your house? Because, okay, think about this, guys. You're spending at least $1,000 a month either on rent or on living expenses, mortgage. Which one of your investments is giving you over $1,000 a month?
Right.
Ask yourself that.
Right.
Which one of your investments that you're investing in is giving you over $1,000 a month?
None.
At least, right? At least one of your investments should be outweighing your expenses. Correct. But if let's say you're investing right in crypto, you're only getting coming up $20 a month. Well, your rent or your living expense is already $1,000, so that wipes away that increase. So
let me ask you something, Nick. How has it been with your relationships, your friends, your family? How is it? How have your relationships changed, better, worse? How's that been for you?
It's been easier to say no.
Okay.
It's been easier to say no. I noticed that you don't have to ask too many questions to figure out where people are financially.
Gotcha.
It's not like I've had drastically better relationships or, you know, because I was already hip to kind of like the whole energy thing. Just forget finance, just like the type of energy you want around certain people.
That makes sense. Okay. I'm with you on
but
that.
as far as relationships, like I'm not going to be tied to a debt slave, like you say. So that's automatically out of the question. At least the person has to be like willing to listen to the information, watch your videos, and understand at least.
What about your guy friendships? How have they been going? What about your guy friendships? Just your homies.
Well,
that you
I see a lot of
my
friends are struggling because they have bills. They're stressed about bills. They don't make enough money, and then they want to live a lifestyle or have these things that
do they talk to you about them? No. Do they talk to you about their problems or financial problems or
a lot of people don't want to talk about their financial problems, which is one of the issues as well. It does require some vulnerability, and else you're going to keep making the same mistakes. And one of the huge mistakes a lot of people make is financing cars. You get some money and you want to flex. You want to go finance a car, and then you're trapped because it decreases in value, and then it's increasing in interest, and then you fall back on a few payments. Now they're going to take your car away.
Dodge is making a killing right now. Dodge is killing the game.
Now that's going to bang your credit report, and they're like, "Yep, buy this car." It's like, no, you need to take a step back. Maybe get a less expensive car in cash, something that's nice.
Nah, man, I ain't a finance Hellcat with a red eye and the whatever.
To impress who? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Who are you trying to impress? What are you trying to do? You know, if you can get that car in cash twice, you can afford it.
Yes. Yeah, you're right, man. Honestly, I just think about, and I know my time is now. That's why, if I didn't go through the things I did go through at your age, at 40, I wouldn't be here today because I had to experience those things to be here, which is the craziest. So everything
Right.
I have come to comfortable accepting that everything that has happened in my life to this age was supposed to happen the way it happened at the time it happened. I know that for a fact because now I understand capitalism is psychological. That was the only way I was going to be able to learn, because to understand capitalism is psychological, you can't Google it. There's no book. There's nothing, right? But we know it's true because math says it's true. So now you get to experience, but your experience is going to be very, very different. You're going to be, you're probably going to be a multimillionaire by your 40s, right? And
hopefully,
no, you just got to say it. Just say you are. Don't even say, when you say hopefully, you're saying, hey, universe, hopefully I can be a multimillionaire. And then the universe responds with, okay, Nick, if you say it, hopefully you can.
Right? No, that's absolutely right.
Or you can say,
your words are
the
powerful.
word you use. You say it.
Yep.
Trust me. You say it enough, the universe is going to know you mean it. But your experience is going to be just so. I'm excited to be able to follow your experience, honestly, because I just want to see how it is.
LJ, you were definitely a puzzle piece to this, and I will give you credit to this day. I continue to donate, and for anybody listening, like, it's the truth.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, LJ, thanks for having me up. I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep coming up more often in the future.
Yeah, they need to hear your age group. I think it's important.
Yep, 32 guys, 32. Yeah. But thank you so much, LJ. I'm gonna hop back in the chat.
Sir. Very welcome.
All right, brother.
All right. I love that, man. Love it. I always say it's only a matter of time. I'm here to. I know the most of you guys that come across this channel, and I don't really understand what's going on with my channel recently. I don't really understand. It's just the weirdest. But all I can say is that whatever is happening is software driven, right? I don't know why. I'm following all the rules. I'm not really messing up on anything, so I don't really get it. But I don't know. It's just weird. You got to just keep pushing through. Just keep on. When you find your path, no matter what the outside world sees or believe, as long as you believe it, there's nobody that can stop it. There is no entity, no nothing. You just keep going. Like when you're coming along your journey, like say like for example, YouTube is my main platform, right? YouTube has rules. If YouTube says if you want to be on this platform, you got to follow these rules. Okay, cool. I get it. If I want to be here, I got to follow this. So I follow the rules. But as I was telling you guys about how I discovered capitalism is psychological, following the credit laws or credit stuff, not credit laws, but credit stuff. That's what following the rules is what got me into debt. Following the rules says, hey, if you stay in debt, you can be approved for more debt to get a house. That's following the rules kept me in debt. That's all part of the program. And mind you, I'm not blaming the bank. Let's make sure this is clear. I'm not blaming the banks. I'm not blaming the credit card companies. I'm not blaming the capitalism system. I only blame myself. Because I had a choice. Be on the negative side of the capitalism or be on the positive side of capitalism. It was all up to me, always. You're going to have to ask your tax professional about that question. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. So I strongly suggest you go ask your tax professional. Any questions? Any 1090? I'm really looking for some new people that do 1099 delivery. And this is you. You haven't been paying your taxes and you're scared and you're nervous and you don't know where to start. You don't know where to look. You just think the worst. I'm here for you to help you, to give you the right steps to do what you need to do to change that fear into a positive thing. You don't have to be scared for the rest of your life, because that's what you're going to be if you say like you did Uber and Lyft and all these things for 5 years, right? And you decided you haven't been paying your taxes the whole entire time, and then you decide you're going to go ahead and get a regular job, and then you just quit, you leave, and then you go get a regular job. You still owe that money. 9 times out of 10, they're just going to take it out of your paycheck from your regular job. Because you can't work without your Social Security number. So your Social Security number tells them where you're at. So they know exactly where to go to get the money that you owe. And that's a program. That's a program for you to say, damn taxes do this and that and bloggity blah. That's all part of the program, I promise you. What's up, Robert?
Hey, what's going on? Good subject you talking. What's up? This is a good subject you talking about.
Yeah, I hate to do this to you, man, but hold the floor for a second for me.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's staying safe in this weather, especially this hurricane weather. You see what it did to Florida, especially right near Fort Myers. So I hope everybody's staying safe out there, and I hope everybody just protect your family. If you're in Florida, if you're in the southern states like I am, because right now we getting the tail end of the hurricane, which is a tropical depression. So I hope everybody is definitely being safe. I'm just waiting for LJ to come back. The reason I'm saying that because I have a buddy that does the 1099 thing. I'm working for DoorDash and he do all these different type of delivery companies. And the taxes part is real. Yeah, you're going to pay them taxes. I promise you. Like and plus the child support on top of it. So yeah, once you're in the system with a 1099, it's basically you being red flagged. So you gotta be careful about that stuff. But half my co-workers, they do the 1099, so they do.
All right, I'm back, sir.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I was gonna say, good subject. I hope you staying safe down there in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just we're having heavy rain. I'm looking out the window right now. It's just heavy rains and wind, but not too bad. Not even ridiculous. Just more than normal. That's all.
Oh, I thought you was gonna go out there and play some golf.
Ah, no,
I'm messing with you.
It's beautiful to look at from inside the house.
Yes,
put it that way.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. That 1099, my best friend, well, I know him since 2nd grade, but yeah, he does the whole DoorDash and Uber at the same time. And I asked him, me and him was talking about 1099 yesterday. Mm-hmm. He was over at my place and we was talking about taxes. He was showing me his legal issues and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why don't you just get a regular job? So that way it'll be, you can pay your taxes better because, he was like, nah, I like this DoorDash because, I'd be making close to $2 to $3 grand doing all these packages. Yep. But I'm like, are you paying your taxes? He was like, well, it's a long way of saying no.
He ain't alone, though. He is not alone.
Yeah, I didn't pull my mask down. I just said, okay.
Okay, you just got to show. He's not alone, though. A lot of them, the majority of them are doing it.
Yes, my co-workers are doing it, and they be like, I be making a lot of money from this. I don't hardly get taxed this much. I'm like, wait a minute, how?
They have adjusted their lives.
Yeah.
To not paying taxes now. Now they're in trouble. Now that means they're caught up in the circle now. They're caught up in the ring. Now they can't get out. That's why the majority of them now, they cannot go to, because you got to remember, besides not paying taxes, they went out and since they're not paying taxes, they think they can afford higher monthly payments. You got to remember that. You got to remember how they think. And so now they go out and get a nicer car. Oh, I need a nicer car. If I'm going to be doing deliveries, I got to be safe and this and that and whatever they think in their brains. And then they get into debt with not paying taxes.
Yep.
Trapped.
They are trapped. And I gotta tell you a funny story. I was out last night. Somebody invited me to hang out with her. Right? It was just somebody I knew, and she was like, we're gonna go to the slots to the casino. Like, now it's not a casino, but you know, like certain hotels, they be having like the video game slot machines where you
Okay.
put
Yeah, in
your
certain
money in.
states. Yeah, they don't have that here, but yeah.
Yeah. So I went inside with her. I kept my mask up, didn't say nothing. And it was like half the people that I used to work with was in there. They were just like sliding in $100 of bills into the slot machine, to the video game cursor,
Yeah.
and pushing the button fast. And I was like, after 2 hours of this,
2
I saw
hours.
the owner.
Okay.
The owner looked at me and said this to me. He was like, "Do you gamble?" I was like, "No." It was a Hindu guy, Indian. He had the
Okay.
dot on his forehead.
Uh-huh.
He was like, he gave me this answer, and he said, "You look like the type that don't really fit in around here." It's like,
Did he really say that?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
It's like, you have a look about you. Cause like everybody else was like looking like, hood, street and all that good stuff. It's like,
Right.
you don't look like you belong here. Like, you belong somewhere better. I was like, I just had a friend that invited me to like what she does and stuff. And I'm just looking at the deaf slaves.
Right.
They was like, they was like on their work break doing this. And these are people I knew from my former job. And they was like, man, yeah, we just come in here and try to make some extra money. I'm like, they would tell you their business, and they also do the 1099, because they was talking about that as well. That's like, yeah, I do Uber on the side, I do DoorDash and Instacart on the side, so I be out here making that money.
Wow.
So they was taking that Instacart money and feeding their gambling
Oh
addiction.
my God. Oh. Can you imagine oh my God, just to even think about that.
Man, I saw them. They had stacks of 20s in their hands, just feeding into the machine. And every hour or so, the owner would come at the machines, unlock the bottom of the machines, take the money out, and put it inside the safe. I was like, oh my sweet Jesus.
Woo, that'd be kind of dangerous right there. I wouldn't feel too comfortable around that kind of stuff.
No, I wasn't. I just
No, I'm talking about the guy. I'm talking about the owner collecting the money. Because if you're telling me, that means you're seeing it. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. It was like, and also it was a Caucasian male who sat right near the machines where my buddy was, and he took a screwdriver, pried the damn machine open, and took the case where the money was in. Like, the people that's feeding it, they took it and ran out with it.
He pried the thing out of the machine?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
I know. I was like, oops, time to go. I was just sitting at a far distance. I knew something was up because I kept seeing him move a certain way. He spoke to me like, hey, speak to people. And then he just pried the goddamn thing open, took the money, and dashed out.
And he didn't care if anybody was looking?
Nope.
Wow, that's mind-blowing to me. That's bananas.
Them 1099 people, dangerous, man.
That's just a thief.
But yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, that's just a thief.
The vast majority of them do
1099. I couldn't be in a place. I couldn't be in a. They have a lot of those in Seattle too, in the Washington State. Yeah. And a lot of people go, hey man, sometimes I would have friends, hey man, we're going out to the so-and-so casino, man. You want to go? I'd be like, no, why? I'm not going out there to gamble, give away my money. No. I'm good.
All I had was $10. I was like, nah, man, this $10 can be used to buy some dish detergent.
Right. But people, can you imagine? I didn't even think about that. Imagine the people that do Instacart, Uber, and then they take their money and not pay taxes and spend it at the casino.
Yep.
Oh man.
They was at the casino, man. Like, we ain't talking about no extravagant casino. We talking about like a hole in the wall hotel that they just, like, people just be lying. Like, putting that money in and hit the button so many times to tell them they renting money. And I'm watching how the game mechanics play. It's like you put in $300 in, but you said you made it back. I was like, no, you didn't. What's 300 minus 150? Yeah.
Wow.
Man, the matrix is real. It's
real. It is real. It is real. Those like the Indian casinos in Washington State, man, they are so big. Yes. Oh man, they are so big. They have a big ass, like this one. I think it's called the Tulalip Casino in Washington. They got this big screen, big like movie style screen on the side of the road, side of the freeway to advertise it. Right.
Yeah.
They even built a off ramp from the main freeway to the casino. That's how much money they're making.
Woo! Woo-wee.
Man,
it's crazy, man. How I seen it, because all I did was listen to them. Like I said, I didn't pull my mask down. I ain't say nothing about you don't own like your car if you making like all these payments. I ain't say nothing of that nature. I just watched them and observed them. And I was like, damn it, LJ, right again. And they was talking about DoorDash, Uber, and Instacart. I know a woman that owes $80,000 in credit card debt that does Instacart and Uber.
You know what makes me understand something, and I don't know if Andre knows this, but maybe he does. Maybe is it public information to see how much back taxes are owed to the IRS? Is that public information? Because I can only imagine the rate at which back taxes are being owed at this particular time. It's got to be skyrocketing at a crazy rate right now with all these 1099 workers.
If you do a credit check, I believe so, because that's like the IRS. Like when you do a personal credit report check, like let's say if somebody else does it and they look up, the IRS will probably put up a notice saying that you owe back taxes.
No, not on their credit report. I know it'll show there.
No, it's also public knowledge. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Oh, you think it's public knowledge to tell who owes back taxes? Is that public knowledge?
It probably is. It's the IRS.
I mean, I know it's a public entity. I don't know. I got to look that up because I've never bothered I've never bothered to look that up. I got to see if that is public. Will it show I wonder if it shows the name of the person.
No, I think it does. I think it depends on how many days you behind on it. Like, for example, if you 2 years or so behind on it and you get red flagged by the IRS, then yeah, I think it does become public knowledge. It just depends on the time frame of it.
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
That'd be cool as hell if that was public knowledge. Ooh.
I know some things are, but you right about that. But that 1099, man, my best friend does it, and I can tell you right now, he
ain't paying his taxes.
Nope.
At
all.
I bet you, because debt slaves are in debt, right? They don't know that they can't. I mean, they know they can't do that, but all you got to do is think about how many people that do those jobs that are in debt. The majority of those guys are not paying their taxes. That's a lot of unclaimed revenue that could hurt the economy.
Yep. Also, I learned about a 1099 is that you're not obligated to report your child support too.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, that's how, because my friend, he owes $45,000 in back child support.
The guy you're just talking about?
Yep.
Oh my God. Oof.
And that's why they do jobs like Instacart and Uber and stuff, because they don't have to report that. The only way
he's gonna have back child support and back taxes.
Yep.
Two things you cannot bankrupt.
Exactly.
He got student loan debt too?
Yes. From BCU.
Oh, he got the trifecta. Oh my God. That is the trifecta. Student loan debt, back taxes, and oh my God. Oh,
A lot of them do. A lot of people I know from different jobs that do like that type of stuff. Yeah, they all got three.
3 things you cannot bankrupt. Oh.
Hmm. I knew a girl from a long time ago. She had $175,000 in student loan debt from VCU,
Mhm.
and in the state of Virginia, VCU is like it's like a state college. So when you file your taxes, they take your taxes if you owe them.
Mm.
Yeah, VCU is well known for that.
They'll take your what taxes?
Your state taxes.
Huh.
Or better yet, let's say you scratch a lottery ticket, anything over $5,000 that you win, that you have to turn over to the Virginia lottery, the state would send you a letter in the mail that said, you know, refund on hold because you owe the state. Like if you owe a state college a certain amount of money, they'll just hold your winnings and
right.
just take it from you.
Yeah, they'll hold your transcripts or something like that. Or
no, yeah, they'll hold like whatever you won. Let's say I won $10,000 on a lottery ticket. Yeah, they'll take what you owe and give you what's left, if that.
Oh wow. I mean, if you owe it, you owe it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I know, but that's why a lot of people do 1099 to evade all of that.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, they think they are. They think, it's so crazy that it's crazy that 1099 workers believe that they are evading. It's just so crazy while working for a company that is reporting it. Like everything they do, it's the craziest thing to really think about. They don't know.
Yeah,
the people that are working for those companies that are not paying taxes, the companies that you're working for is reporting everything they give you.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. That's the law for them to do that. They have to do that. So, oh man, that is just, man.
Yep. That's how they be like, they make so much money so fast because they're not paying federal and state taxes.
And so crazy that the companies like Uber, they don't really have to worry about somebody that's going to get in trouble for their taxes because they will always have people to replace the person that can't drive or do something anymore. So say like somebody's been doing it for years, they end up going to jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't matter because the company knows that there's always going to be somebody to replace that person that's not driving, delivering for them anymore.
Yep. Because like when they also like my age range, they will target too because people be like, why don't you just do Uber? You make some extra money on the side. They'll try to recruit you to do Uber, and Instacart, and DoorDash.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's another thing too. When you said should make sure you check like their cars to see if their clean is not clean and all that good stuff.
Right.
Cause my friend's car was dirty.
Mm.
And it's like, yeah, you need to check to see your packages and delivery. You need to check these people's cars.
Your food, man. Your food being delivered. I've walked past some cars before in my life. And you're not prowling anybody's car, but if you ever walked past somebody's car and looked in and seen how much trash people keep in their car?
I know people like that.
Oh man, that is absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
I mean, piled high in fast food bags and old this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm like, you're not even embarrassed?
Nope. I know people like that. I worked with people like that who got piles of trash inside their cars and their apartment. Yeah, I seen them. My friend was one of them. I seen.
And they always say you get ready to ride with them. Oh man, excuse my car. It's like your car is disgusting. What are you talking about? Excuse your car.
Yep. Exactly.
And they delivering food and that shit too. Ooh,
mm-hmm.
Like what if you I mean, many people won't do this. They need to, but you say like you're calling to get your food delivered and the person brings the food and you say, hey, I'm going to come outside. And then you see their car, see that it's trashy and you can smell a smell coming out of their car. What if something stinks come out of their car from your food being delivered by that person? Oh man.
And say, for example, let's say you don't accept the food because they're trash and dirty and stuff,
Mhm.
the delivery driver can keep your food for free.
Well, because he's gonna have to pay for it, ain't he?
Nope,
Uh,
not at all. It's like anything after like let's say they wait on you for 5 minutes to come pick up your food
mhm.
and you don't answer anything like that. Yeah, they give the food to the delivery driver for free.
Gotcha. Because they can't do nothing with it anyway. So,
Correct.
but you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy too? I was watching this guy on this video. He was taking us along his journey of delivering food, right?
Mm-hmm.
I realized like some of the times when they go pick up this food, sometimes they gotta wait because the food is not ready.
Right.
They have to stand there and wait. You see what I'm saying? So say like
Yeah.
they say, hey, go pick up this food at so-and-so restaurant, and you get there, and because the restaurant don't have to go by your time, they go by
Right.
their time, right? So if they haven't started, if they're busy and they're 15 minutes out, you got to stay there for 15 minutes to get the food to deliver them.
Yes,
To
that
deliver
is
it.
true. Yeah, I see that
Oh.
all the time.
I wonder if they
Like-
count that time that they wait. That is just, oh my God, that's got to be horrible.
Oh no, actually they don't. They just they'll send you a message saying like, you know, it's a delay on the food. It's gonna be like 5 minutes extra. Yeah, I seen them. I had that happen to me.
Well, if
before.
it's going to be 5 minutes extra, do you have to pay more in time, or how's that work?
No, you don't have to pay more in time. It's already included in your bill.
Wow. So basically, if the food is not ready for the pickup driver has to sit there for free.
Yep.
Sit there for free till the food's ready and then bring it to them.
Correct.
Oh my God. Wow. That is right there. That's an opportunity right there. Right? People don't really see the delivery people. They're so focused in on other things. They don't know right there. When you see something that's a gap that doesn't make sense, it's like, if I get there, the restaurant's not required to have the food on time when I get there. They get it to you when they get it to you. So there's a gap right there. That means opportunity.
Yep. Just like Amazon delivery drivers, they don't work for Amazon. They 1099 independent contractors.
Right. Right.
My ex-wife did that for a little bit, and she was like, and then she told me, she was like, well, I asked her, I was like, wait a minute, who paid to put gas in? They was like, oh, the contractor company, they'll give us a gas card to put gas in the vans.
Mhm.
I'm like, wait a minute, so y'all don't work for Amazon? No. So how you pay taxes? She was like, 1099. I'm like, did you report your taxes? She was like, how many? I'm like, oh no. Same thing. But yeah,
I wish, unfortunately, people in that position, they really can't hear SMD. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
They can't, right?
Right.
They don't know, like people that are really good, believe it or not, and I'm not even down in the job. I'm trying to point out to the majority of them that they can change the game.
Yep, they sure can.
They can change the game. They already know the ins and outs, how to make it more efficient, but they just can't do anything about it because they need money.
Yep. In fact, the coworker I told you about that got convicted of fraud, bank fraud that I was telling you about, he had what you were talking about earlier, he had a delivery company that he set up, his own delivery company, and he was like, we was making all this money, but I was like, and then when the taxes part came up, because he had employees, and I was like, how did your employees pay your tax? They was like, oh, we did 1099 on them. And he was like, I did the same thing. I'll just do 1099. I'll skim some off the top. I was like, I see why you got caught.
Right.
Because he was like, as a business, he had to shut the business down because the IRS found out that he was skimming.
Of course. It's what's so crazy is that people, debt slaves, they think they can defy the laws of mathematics somehow. That's what they believe. Right? In which they can't. They can't, but they try anyway. It's just bananas. Oh, they skim this trick or whatever. Like first of all, they believe they're doing something new. Every time they do something to deceive taxes, debt slaves don't know they have a pattern. And they all do the same thing. They just do it differently, but it's still a pattern.
Yeah. Like he had all them 1099s, and he taught me the game. He literally, like when I was working with him for a short period of time, he taught me everything there was to how they scheme with these delivery businesses. He told me how he was doing these 1099s and not reporting certain things. It's just like to see them brazenly tell you their schemes is just amazing. That's the part that I learned to accept. Like they would, if you cool with them, they would tell you everything they needs to know as to you do not need to talk to this person about money ever again.
Ever again. When they openly talk about tax evasion, tax fraud openly, you know you don't hang around or talk to people like that about money. You just don't.
Yeah. That and again, I wanted to reiterate this. When you say get a professional person to do your financials, like your taxes and all that stuff, people need to understand that would save you. You need a person, a professional tax lawyer that is debt free, so that they will help you times the average person.
They will save you. They will save you. I try to tell people that because they know if you do hire that and that person goes to the IRS, that lawyer, tax attorney, whatever, everything's going to be in order properly, right? Everything, because that's a person who is debt free in that profession is going to make sure of it. They're going to make sure. They're going to make sure that, like, say, like a person tries to come to a tax lawyer, trying to get them to do something that's fraudulent, right? Hey, lawyer, can you say that I did this and did that? They'll say, sorry, sir, you can't be a client of mine. Why not? Because you're trying to commit tax fraud. I'm not going to help you do that.
Yep.
It's so easy to see too. When somebody's trying to ask somebody professional to commit tax fraud, that is, no, thank you. Sorry, sir.
Nope. I do my own taxes online, and like all my W-2 forms, I fill them out correctly, and whatever they say that I owe or whatever they say I get back, which is not a lot in the first place, I just go ahead and submit the paperwork, and the IRS check over, and they'll be like, accept it.
Well, that's what you want, really.
Yeah.
You want the ultimate goal is, especially as a W-2 worker, if you can, I think it's possible, but you got to be really understand how it works. But you can get to zero, like you don't owe nothing, and that's the ultimate what you want to be. You don't pay nothing, and they don't owe you nothing. That's where you want the number. You want it zero.
That's what I try to do. But like when the job issues overtime, like that's how it'd be. Like sometimes you owe a little bit because they try to offer you so much overtime during the holiday season. Sometimes I just be trying not to take overtime. I'd be like, y'all have VTO?
Well, you can do it. I mean, it counts on your job where you work. Even if they did do the overtime, you could, if you really had it fine-tuned, you could say, okay, cool. Let me deposit a little more. Since I got this amount in overtime, let me put a little more money into my retirement account this year, which would offset the raise in taxes by working overtime. You see what I'm saying? You can do it. You just got to pay attention to it.
I found out you can do the same thing with the HSA account too, which I did.
Yes. You can do that
because too. Because I was reading a Fidelity article on Fidelity.com about HSAs, and they was like, look at an HSA account as a triple tax advantage for you.
Right.
And I read fine details of it, and I'm like, I'm still glad that I did it.
It is a triple. It's a triple too. It is a retirement account and HSA account. They're both triples. And like you put money to the account, you save money on taxes, and you save money by paying out-of-pocket medical expenses with non-tax money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I think it's 4. That's 4 for HSA, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
That's 4. That's a trip. That's quadruple for HSA. Oh shit! I just realized you get 4 benefits out of that. Wow.
Yeah, I read the article and everything, and then I had next month when my job now, when they get the open enrollment, I get to put more into it. It's like you could put like $325 per check into it. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Cause that's gonna
the max of 5. Ain't the max like 7,000 or something you can do with a family or something like that?
Oh yeah, the max is 6,500.
Right. Okay. I knew it was somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So you.
for married people, yes. For single, I think it's like 3,000.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, I think single by yourself, but if you have a kid, I believe that's considered the family, right? So you get the family amount.
No, the kid is head of household.
Oh.
Yeah, and no, you get more with head of household too. I
Gotcha.
think
Gotcha.
head of
Okay.
household is like you get 5,000. Married, it's like married, you get the most. Then it's head of
Gotcha.
household.
Okay. 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 No, it's still a win-win. Still a
Yeah,
win-win.
hell, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I would have
They,
if I wasn't debt free, I would have never seen that in a million years. Never.
neither would I.
Never. I would have been still complaining about out-of-pocket medical expenses. I would have still been complaining about that stupid nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that stuff works wonders, man. That HSA will save you.
It is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. My ex still get mad at me about it. How you got so much money with this account? Hey man, HSA, swipe it. Shit.
Wow.
You
Because you
swipe
give
that
her
card.
she's got a copy of the card too, right? For your son, correct?
Yes,
Okay. That makes sense. All right.
but also because he's on Medicaid and Medicare,
Mm-hmm.
like they this is crazy with Medicaid and Medicare. They prefer that my job pays for it, so that way they don't have to pay as much. That's just how the state rolls.
Right. Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Because they don't
And
pay the state doesn't pay the same prices. They get a reduced rate.
yes,
Yeah, they get a reduced rate.
but they was like, oh, you got they look at me, they're like, you have insurance, Mr. Chase? I'm like, yes, ma'am, I do. And they be
Mm-hmm.
like, he's on my insurance, so wherever my insurance don't pay,
Mm-hmm.
Medicare would take care of the smaller amount.
Oh wow. So you barely probably using your HSA.
Yep, pretty much.
Wow. Wow. So that HSA is just in case anything pop
Hmm.
up big, you have it, you ready.
Oh, and also because since my kid was clinically diagnosed as autistic, when
Mm-hmm.
you file your taxes, you get tax credits. Because last year I had because even though I'm divorced, I could still claim my kid because it was my kid through marriage, and since I have joint custody of my kid, like it's already through the IRS that like
Do you
you
guys swap
claim.
every year to claim them?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
this year, like this tax year, I claimed them. Next year she'll claim them.
Gotcha. No, I remember those days. Okay. Because I had to do
Yeah.
the same thing. I remember those days. Yeah.
So like, but even though I bet it's like when you do your taxes, it's like even though you're divorced, and even though like somebody, let's say she has the kid more than I do, you can still claim your son, my son. I can still claim it the same way because the
Gotcha.
fact that I had a divorce decree.
Right,
So
right.
like, yeah, they get tax credits for a bunch of stuff. Like you have a special needs kid, you get extra money from the state and the federal.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, well, holy shit.
Right. You just gotta be aware of it for sure.
Yeah, and what I did was I called the tax people. I was like, "Is this okay?" They're like, "Yes."
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, as long as I get verification, that's all I care about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because I seen what happened when you don't.
Right. Right.
You will get that goddamn notice talking about some. Yeah, you need to pay this back because my neighbor had that happen to her.
Had what?
She got a letter from the IRS saying that she owed more than expected,
Mm-hmm.
and she owed like an extra $3,000, and they sent her the notice in the mail saying, "Yep, you sure do."
Right. Oh, because she underestimated her taxes or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They would quickly do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's so crazy? People can look at that one or two ways. You could be shocked and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it," or you can find out where the mistake was made, so you'll never make it again. That's all. Just because they have to show you. They just don't say, "Hey, you owe us this money." They
show you.
Yeah, of course, they show you. It's like here's what we found, and
also,
then you find it and fix it. That's all.
And you don't have to pay it all at once too. Like they'll send you like a payment plan. Like you can make payment arrangements on it too, so you can break your what you owe. You
paying
break
interest,
it.
though. You paying interest.
No, not if you made a mistake. The only way you paying interest is if you like try to defraud them. But if it's just like you misdid your taxes,
I beg to differ on that, because when I was doing like my taxes this year, like I finally switching over from W-2 to business owner it's a process. Okay, so
Right.
and it's a cycle, not only a mathematical, financial, but it's a psychological process. But this year, even though they owed me, I had to pay first, which is weird because I had to get the last couple years of my taxes straight, because when you're doing this transition, it's really confusing at first.
Mm-hmm.
So I end up having, even though they owed, I had to pay first, and then they was going to reimburse me with the money that they owed me, right?
Right.
But you have to. But when they sent that to me, they said, "Hey, by the way," because I had my taxes done, and then I got this bill that says, "Hey, you owe us this," and then I sent it to the person that did it, and they kind of explained to me what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was interest that was going to be applied to it if I didn't pay it by this particular date.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it like depends on like how many days you're behind on it.
Correct.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
Mm-hmm. So I made sure it was paid by that date, because I knew they were going to turn around and give it right back to me at a later date. But there was no way I could say, well, you guys owe me anyway, so I'm just going to wait till you send me. They're like, no, you owe us this money right now. And if you don't, this is how much you're going to pay after this date. This is how much you're going to pay after this date. And I was like, oh, not going to let that happen. So
yeah, because I already know next year that I'm a owe taxes. I'm not going to owe a lot, but I owe a little bit, because from when when DHL closed up, they gave us a big bonus at once.
mm-hmm.
But since because I had my kid on my taxes and everything, they probably reduced it down a lot, because like you can claim your kid on your taxes.
Are you talking about last year or this year?
No, this year.
And you think you're gonna owe because you had a bonus this year?
Yeah, they gave me like when the company shut down, they gave us like close to $10,000 in bonuses.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you maxed out all your 401k and your HSA? You maxed all those out?
Yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
did.
Okay, got it. All right, I see where you're going now.
Yeah, I definitely maxed those out. Yes.
I'd probably, you know what? I'd probably find a debt-free financial person and see if there's something, like find somebody that knows about who's debt-free. And go to them and say, hey, man, I don't want to pay this much in taxes because of this bonus. What can I do? And I'm sure they can tell you something.
Indeed. Yeah,
I just wouldn't accept that you're going to be paying more in taxes. I would go pay somebody to say, is there anything I can do that can reduce my tax liability this year, my tax bracket, and see what they say.
Yeah, I definitely will do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that.
That's more money in your pocket if you do.
That's true.
Yeah, I wouldn't just accept that. I think that's more.
No, that's just me just saying it. And
right. No, I like it. I like thinking out loud. You know, SMD. I like.
Oh, yeah.
Like when we have those one day, we have those SMD groups somewhere. It's gonna happen, right? We're gonna be doing the same thing. We're gonna come together. We're gonna share all of our experiences, what we did, what we didn't do, how we took care of it, blah blah blah, and then we're gonna all leave with more knowledge than what we came with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that too. So.
Indeed, but yes, be careful about that 1099, man. Make sure, because congratulations for going from W-2 to business, by the way.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you don't be issuing them 1099s like in your case it might be beneficial. Because,
no, I'm just saying when you guys make your transition, save yourself a lot of headache and go straight to a tax professional who is personally debt free. Tell them what you're doing. Hey, I'm going from W-2 to 1099. Make it right the way it's supposed to be. Period. Mm-hmm. Save yourself a lot of headache.
Yep. Oh, I can. I'm gonna do when I go back to work on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go through my company and see what type of tax professionals that they have. Because like me being full time, like you get free consultations from like tax lawyers and stuff. So I'm gonna do that on Monday.
Well, you better start practice. You better start practicing how you're gonna ask them if they're personally debt free. You better start practicing.
I'm practicing now. I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna ask them one simple question. You don't owe no no student loans, do you?
Exactly. Exactly.
You got a degree in accounting. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that fully paid off?
Exactly. Have you still got student loans from your accounting degree, your law degree? Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Never
Ooh.
mind. You can't help me.
Yep. People going to tell some, a mortgage is a good debt.
Right.
Oh, before I leave, that video you posted was hilarious, man. The dude talking about why you should never pay off your mortgage.
Oh man, Chris. What's his name? Chris something, I think. Oh my God, that guy is hilarious. Oh.
You should never pay off your mortgage, and he was writing down the interest you'll save. I'm like, wait a minute. And of course, me thinking in my head, you can't save interest on anything if the house is $400,000.
Exactly.
Mm.
That guy is horrible, man. When I say horrible, I'm talking about not in an illegal way. I'm just saying
Right.
he's just strictly, he's out there for debt slaves. Period. That's what he's there for. You see his intro? You see his intro to this video? Oh my God, it's so full of shit. All this stuff, riding motorcycles and riding on planes and in a crowd of people. I said, this guy is good. He is really, really good. He knows what to do to debt slaves to impress debt slaves.
That
show the big house, the big cars, the dog, the family. I'm like, you guys are good.
You gotta give it to him, man. You gotta give it to the banks.
You gotta give it to him. I'm gonna even give out his channel. Let me see what his channel is. I'm gonna give out his channel so people know, because I know they're like, what is he talking about? I'm gonna put the link to. I'm gonna even put the link to the video that I'm talking about, that him and I are talking about.
Yeah.
1 second here. Chris. His name is Chris. Chris Crone. Chris Crone. Okay, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat here so you guys know who I'm talking. Oh crap. Who I'm talking about, so you guys can know. This guy right here. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand, okay? I'm not saying that he's doing anything wrong or illegal. He's doing anything bad to people. I'm not even saying that he's not helping people. I don't know. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is that he's doing a business, okay? Everything he's saying is mathematically untrue, okay? That's what you need to know. And it's not illegal to say things that are not mathematically true. That's not illegal, because it's up to you to believe it or not. If you believe if he's saying things that are not mathematically true and you believe it, that's your problem. That guy is horrible. He's horrible, man. At the end, when he said, hey, what would you rather do? Would you rather me pay, if I wrote a check and paid off all your debt, would you rather me pay off? I would say, hell yeah, pay it off today, right now.
Hell yeah. You asked? I'm like, you asking? Like,
right. He said,
yeah.
Or do you want $10,000 a month for the rest of your life? And I would have been like, are you talking about the unforeseen future that you don't know what you're talking about? Yeah, no, I want you to pay my debt off today, right now.
All the way.
Oh man, that guy. If you want all your debt paid off, that's a bad thing. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this guy is good. Wow.
Flipping houses.
He's got almost 1 million subscribers. He's like 850,000. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
You got that many people that don't trust mathematics following you. Oh my God. Those people are in trouble. They have no idea.
You know what that tells you?
What?
That SMD is needed.
Correct. That's exactly what I thought when I saw that. I said SMD is very well needed.
Like that. Now I see why you be saying the SMD counselors, because when they wake up from all this, they're gonna be coming to us.
Correct.
They're gonna be like, how do I undo this?
Correct. And you know what they're gonna be paying us? $1,000 an hour to talk to her. You better believe it.
Oh, that $1,000, that should just be the bare.
That's gonna be the base. That's gonna be the beginning rate of SMD counselors. Believe that's the starting rate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1,000 for the basics, to get on the phone, talk. Hey, which direction should I go? That's the basics. That's for us not doing anything for you. We're just telling you information. If you want us to do something for you, that's a different rate.
Yeah. Man,
I'm excited. I'm so excited about that, man. You just don't even understand how excited I am for that.
Indeed, I can tell. I'm just ready for the transition as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And right
I ain't
now,
go.
as you get yourself ready, when you do the crossover, starting your own business with from W-2 to blah, 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 when the SMD counselor stuff really kicks off, you will already be ready and know exactly what to do.
Yep.
You know, everything will be in place already.
Also, I'm grateful for the fact that while I was at that casino yesterday, I passed the test of keeping my mask on. I was not trying to get shot. I was
Yeah.
not trying to get my butt kicked. No, I kept my mask up. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, don't say a damn
Oh, yeah.
word.
You can't be talking SMD inside of a casino. There is no way.
No.
Well, that's why the owner saw you, because you look different than everybody else.
Yep. And he pointed me out directly. I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
They know.
Yeah, they do know. The owners know.
Yeah, they know. Like every time me and my friends would go to Vegas, and 9 times out of 10, there's a casino in the bottom of your hotel. I walk through there. I don't look at the machines. I don't hear all the noises. I just walk through and get out, because I don't gamble. So I don't look at any of. I'm sure the security that watches those floors, they can clearly see who gambles and who doesn't. Clearly.
Yeah. Is there a reason why you're here, sir? Yeah, I came for the food.
Yep, food. I'm here with my friends, whatever.
Yep.
But I'm not spending no money in your casino. Believe that.
Indeed.
All right, sir. We're gonna wrap this up, man.
All right. Have a good weekend. You be safe down there.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just raining hard, but we're good.
All right. Be safe, man.
All right, thank you. All right, everybody. I guess we're just gonna wrap this up. I put the link in there a couple times. You guys can check out that Chris Crone video that I was telling you about. Go check it out for yourself. I even left a couple comments underneath. I couldn't help myself. It just, when I hear people talk like that, like, I can't really watch his channel. Okay, I can't, because all of his videos are, it's business. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing, but I can't listen. Put it this way. I know he's not talking to me, because I know everything he's saying is not mathematically true. You can't do any of what he's saying, nothing, with no money. You can't do that. You cannot finance a house and earn a profit. Like, you got to take a step back and say, do I have the cash to buy this property? No, you don't. You can't. That means you can't buy it. So you go and ask the bank, hey, bank, I don't have the money to buy this property. Can you help me? The bank says, yes, but we own it until you pay us back. And then when you say, okay, and then you rent it out, why do you think you get the profit before the bank? You don't get the profit before the bank. That's not true. You can't. You don't have the money to buy the house, but you think if you finance it, now you profit from the house that you didn't have the money to buy. That's not true. You can't do that. You're probably thinking to yourself, that's how it's done. Millions of people are doing it. If millions of people are doing something mathematically incorrect, and you know they're doing, are you going to copy them? You know that what they're doing is mathematically incorrect, but you're going to do it anyway. That's your problem. That's just like the old saying when your mom used to say, hey, if your friends went and played on the freeway, would you do it? It's the same thing. That's like going to play on the freeway. If millions of people believe they're homeowners with mortgages and you do it too, those guys are playing on the freeway. And if you go finance a house and believe you're a homeowner with equity and stuff like that, when you had the money to buy the house, you are playing on the freeway with them and don't know you're playing on the freeway. When you're walking down the road next to a road that has busy cars, do you ever accidentally just wander off and walk into the road just say like you had your headphones on, you're walking down the sidewalk? Do sometimes you forget you're walking down the sidewalk and wander in the road? No, you probably never ever do that. Why? You know you will get hit by a car. That's why that doesn't accidentally happen. Are you ever driving down the freeway? You slow to a stop in the middle of the freeway and get out and start walking? Do you ever do that? Why not? Because you will get hit. Because it's wrong. Because you know you don't do that. You don't stop your car in the middle of the freeway and get out and start walking. Check your tire pressure. Hey, I think you're driving down the freeway at 60 miles an hour. You're like, hey, wait a minute. Did I leave something in the trunk? And then you come to a complete stop, get out your car and pop the trunk and see what's it. Hey, is it's checking it, but you're checking it on the freeway. Have you ever accidentally did that? No, never. Anyway, that's a really exaggerated story, but anyway. All right, you guys have a wonderful Friday. It is Friday. Have a wonderful Friday. And I'm down here in South Carolina and I am looking out the window. It's raining very heavily, but it's beautiful though. It is beautiful. It's not too bad. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. Later.